Well, it's been a while, but I'm still here. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to keep making videos. So, permaculture. I've really been getting into that more. I'm sure if you've been watching my recent videos, you've probably noticed that I've been kind of gravitating more toward having a food forest permaculture design. And so I'm sure many of you are already familiar with permaculture at this point. It's become much more popular recently, especially since we've been seeing the damage caused by monoculture farming and constantly mounting evidence of climate change. Permaculture is becoming very attractive because it does a much better job of working with nature. It's all based on natural processes, and it could even be a way to start healing the planet 1 yard at a time. So I've really gotten into it. If you're not familiar with permaculture, it's a way of growing more perennial plants that can provide food for yourself and for everything else that lives in your area, above ground and below ground. So I just kind of wanted to do like a informal chat video about that. I usually try to do a bit more work on scripting and get some B-roll footage and all that stuff, but I'll try to edit this just to keep it moving along. So anyway, I've done some reading lately. I've read some really good books. Just recently I finished a book called Gaias Garden by Toby Hemingway. That was about the perfect book for me to read right now as I'm trying to figure out what we're doing with this, because it really helped to teach me how to go about thinking about the design process and observing what's already going on in our yard, and see if there are microclimates that already exist here and how we can kind of incorporate new ones and work with all of that. So, for example, he talks about guilds in there, and a guild is really, it's like usually has a central fruit tree with a lot of other things growing around it that all kind of work together to help each other. And so, for instance, we've been wanting to grow peaches for a really long time. So I'm thinking of doing a dwarf peach tree with things around it to provide mulch and fix nitrogen. We can grow comfrey to pull up nutrients and provide mulch for everything. Borage will help to attract insects and also some mulch. Some type of nitrogen fixer close to the central plant, or maybe just some ground cover, some clover or something to help everything out. Even some strawberries to help cover the ground and keep the soil from being exposed and keep weeds out. And that would all be fantastic. Those are all things that we've been wanting to grow anyway, and the idea that we could combine all of that together so they can all help each other and provide food for us. That's just fascinating to me. I really like that idea. So there are many other great books out there. I still have yet to read the original permaculture book by one of the pioneers of the permaculture concept itself, Bill Mollison. Permaculture, A Designer's Manual, is supposed to be a just fantastic book on permaculture, so I need to find that still. I haven't seen it at the library yet. There's a book called Perennial Vegetables by Eric Toensmeyer. That is a great catalog of perennial alternatives to a lot of annuals. So if you're wanting to replace some annuals with some perennials, that's a great way to just learn about what is out there. And of course, a lot of those things are more for warmer temperate climates, but there are still plenty of things in there that that I know we can definitely incorporate here, like sea kale, asparagus, or artichokes. And then Eric also co-authored a 2-volume set with Dave Jack, and that's Edible Forest Gardens. That's supposed to be a really good, really highly rated set of books on that. And again, a lot of temperate climate methods, but still a lot to learn. Things that can definitely help us even here in our Midwestern U.S. climate. And of course, there are many other great books out there on permaculture if you want to learn more about that. And you can find thousands of videos here on YouTube. I know I am planning to spend a lot of time designing and figuring out what we can do here. And so we'll still be growing our annual vegetable garden still, of course. I mean, we can't not have tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers and all that wonderful stuff. But we will slowly replace a lot of things with more perennials. And there's a higher initial cost for setting up a food forest because you're buying plants rather than seeds. But in the long run, it winds up saving you money and time, not having to start seeds inside and keep a grow room going. You know, we'll still be doing that, but it will be a bit less work. And this will be something we can keep adding on to. Of course, we don't have to spend a ton of money and do the entire yard at once. It's really not even the best idea to do that. It's good to just kind of do little pockets of things at a time. So that's what we'll be working on, and I'm just incredibly excited to get going on this. But anyway, that's about it. Permaculture is it's looking pretty great right now. So in the future, a lot of my videos will be kind of going more in that direction, and so this will be my last one for 2019. So I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Stay safe out there. Spend some time with the family. Keep your stick on the ice. Don't take any wooden nickels. I don't know. I'm just throwing them out there, trying to cover all the bases. Anyway, I will see you again in 2020.